Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. Welcome to podBASICS. And a special welcome to Kevin. It's great to have you at the yoga pod today, first time in. And we'll start standing. Go ahead and make your way to the top of your mat. Separate your feet hip distance apart and we'll begin in mountain pose. Shine your palms forward. And now root the foundation of all four corners of both of your feet firmly down into the floor. Keep your knees soft and firm the muscles of your legs. It's a very gentle hug inwards of your inner thighs to create an internal spiral, as if you were going to spin your thighs into the middle and then back behind you on your mat. Engage your core and find natural curves in your back by lifting your low belly up and sending your tail gently down. And then encourage an external rotation in your arms by opening your thumbs wide, pinning the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together down your back. Lift up tall through the crown of your head. And we'll begin to breathe together. Inhale, slowly stretch your arms wide out to the side and up overhead. Take the entire breath in for your palms to touch. Exhale through your nose, draw your thumbs in front of your forehead, nose, chest, belly button, release. Let's do that again. Inhale up for 4, 3, 2, 1 through your nose. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through your nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose. 3, 2, 1. Once more. Inhale, reach up. Lengthen your side bodies. Keep your neck long. Touch your palms overhead. Exhale, draw down through the midline. Inhale again, arms up overhead, this time shoulder distance apart for upward salute. Spin your baby fingers in, draw your shoulders down, tone your belly, zip up your core, and root again firmly into your feet. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Hands through heart, exhale, forward fold. Dive over your hips, release your head and hands at the bottom. Bend your knees as much as you need to make this comfortable in the backs of your legs. You can shake your head yes and no to let go of any tension hiding in your neck. Inhale, breath, take a halfway lift. Bring your hands to your shins or thighs. Avoid backward pressure on your knees. Stretch the top of your head forward, gaze down towards the floor. Breathe in deeply. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your big toes together to touch. And we'll move one breath, one movement through those shapes with feet together. Inhale, reach your arms wide out and up. Upward salute, arms overhead. Perfect, Kevin. Hands to touch, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins or thighs. Exhale, fold again. With the breath, inhale, reach up, upward salute, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward, hands through your heart center. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, weight your heels, chair pose. Breathe in and reach your arms up overhead. Perfect. Squeeze your knees together. Draw your weight back towards your heels so that your toes are light. And really turn on your breath in and out through your nose here to support the challenge and internal fire that builds in this shape. Relax your jaw. Take one more full round of breath right here. Breathe in. Exhale, forward fold, hands through your heart. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step to plank pose. Plant your palms shoulder distance. Step your feet to the back of your mat. If you're newer to plank and you'd like to create a little more sustainable strength, drop your knees down to the earth here. Continue to pull your belly button up and in, away from the mat. Perfect modification, Liza. Draw your chin away from your chest, gaze a few inches forward, and lift your hips up in line with your shoulders. Full breath in. Use your knees as needed, lower to the earth in one solid piece. Elbows skim your ribs. Place the tops of your feet down on the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift your chest. Press your toenails down. Exhale, release. Tap your forehead on the earth. We'll do that twice more. Inhale, cobra. Lift your heart. Hug your elbows in. Exhale, release. Last one here. Inhale, lift your chest and hold. Push down with your feet to lift your ribs, and if you'd like, you can push into your hands and lift yourself a touch higher. Gorgeous, Tamara. Nice alignment. Breathe in here. Exhale, release. Forehead to the earth. Inhale, press up to tabletop, all fours, hands and knees. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Make sure your hands are shoulder distance apart. Your feet are hip distance apart. Soft bend your knees to give your low back a lot of length. And then let your head drop down. You can bring your gaze between your legs. That's perfect. Great gaze, Kevin. Take one more breath in right here. Exhale, child's pose. Bring your big toes together to touch. Open your knees wide towards the edges of your mat. Tops of feet down, hips on heels, and place your palms and forehead down on the floor. Let your breath fill the space between your inner thighs as your belly puffs out when you breathe in. And then create a gentle tug inwards of your belly button at the bottom of your exhale breath. If at any point in class the postures become overtly challenging and you need to rest, this is the perfect place to come down, reground, and find that connection to your breath again. And you can join us again whenever you're ready. Slowly round up. Walk yourself so that your torso is vertical. And you can stay seated on your heels or swing your legs out in front of you if cross-legged is a more comfortable seat. For today's practice, we'll focus on forward folds. So a few of the amazing benefits of forward folds is that we get to stretch the entire back line of our legs. So hamstring and calf muscles get a nice opening. It's really great if you tend to run or do leg days at the gym frequently. And some of the key actions to keep in mind are a nice long spine, avoid rounding through your low back. And you also want to keep a soft bend to your knees, especially if you tend to be overly flexible or what we call hypermobile. You'll want to keep your knees bent to protect the ligaments in your knee joints. We'll start out with a forward fold on our back. So go ahead and set your feet on the floor out in front of you, knees up towards the sky. Flip your palms up and take a nice slow roll down to your back. Make sure your strap is within reach of your left hand at the bottom. Walk your left heel closer in towards you. Grab and unroll your strap and hug your right knee into your chest. Then loop the strap over the ball of your right foot for a reclined big toes pose. Going to kick the ball of your foot upwards. Slide your hands down the strap enough that the back of your head is completely relaxed on the floor. Pull your elbows in towards your sides to engage your biceps and relax your neck and shoulder muscles. Breathe as deeply as you can in and out through your nose here. Make sure you've got the right leg high here. So we'll want to switch this out. Bring your left foot down and then take your right leg up. Perfect. You got it. Now notice any tendency to lock out your right knee, bring a soft bend. And if you'd like more sensation, keep the grip on your strap and straighten your left leg out in front of you so that your left heel is on the floor, left toes are up towards the sky. Full capacity breath in and out. If you find you have a little more space, hug your elbows in and draw your toes closer towards your nose. Soften the muscles of your face. Send your breath wherever you're experiencing the most tightness. If you have your left leg straight, re-bend your left knee and plant your left foot on the floor. Bend your right knee, remove the strap and place your right foot on the floor. Then take your left knee into your chest, loop the strap over the ball of your left foot, and send your left heel high over your left hip. Drop your head back and down on the floor. Hug your elbows in. Soft bend your left knee. And breathe. My jaw likes to try to help me open my hamstrings. So that's the same for you. Open and close your jaw a few times. Relax your face and send your breath into the belly of your left hamstring, the middle section between your knee and your hip. If you feel there's a little more space, you can straighten your right leg long or pull your left toes closer towards your nose. Keep your neck and shoulders relaxed. If you straightened your right leg, re-bend your right knee. Place your right foot on the floor. Bend your left knee. Get rid of your strap off the side of your mat. And then hug both knees into your heart. Take a little rock side to side with one hand on each shin. Give yourself a little low back massage. Perfect. Now switch the rock. Begin to rock forward and back along the length of your mat. Gain some momentum. At the top, come to a seat, crisscross your ankles and step to tabletop, all fours. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Second, fingers directly forward and push through the L of your hands. Take a deep, full breath in your nose. Exhale, down dog. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips high up and back. Bend your knees. And reach forward with your fingertips. Yeah, that was perfect. Nice. And then soft bend your knees just a touch here so you can lift your hips. Perfect. You got it. That's awesome. Breathe here, in and out through your nose. Let's breathe together. Please exhale here all the way out. Inhale, stretch your right leg back into the diagonal plane behind you. Exhale, step to lunge, right foot next to your right thumb. Grab your 2 blocks and set them up on the highest dimensions to begin underneath your hands. Squeeze your inner thighs, draw your right hip back, pull your chest forward, and lift the front of your left thigh away from the mat. Exhale and drop your back knee down onto your mat. Walk your blocks back about 4 inches and we'll move to half splits. Straighten-ish your right leg by walking your right heel forward and pulling your right toes back towards your nose. So this is our first bigger forward fold upright. Let's inhale, lift and lengthen through your low back. Soft bend the right knee, exhale, hinge forward at your waist. Draw your shoulders out of your ears. And if you feel that you can take this a little deeper while maintaining a flat back, walk your blocks down to a lower dimension. You can take them on the 2nd or even 3rd lowest depth. Pull back through your big and baby toe side of the right foot. Fold down, belly a little closer towards the top of your right thigh. These look perfect, you guys. Stay in a few more breaths. Remove your blocks off the front sides of your mat where they were before. Come back to lunge, rebend your right knee, flatten both of your palms on the mat. Tuck your left toes under and lift your left knee behind you. Inhale, step back to plank pose. Use your knees as needed. Exhale, lower down to the earth. Untuck your toes. Inhale, cobra, lift your chest. Exhale, tap your forehead down. Inhale, tabletop, all 4s. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips up and back. 5 rounds of deep Ujjayi breath here. In and out through your nose. A gentle tension in the back of your throat, only so that you can hear your breath move in and out. Let's sync up our breath. Exhale here. Inhale, stretch your left leg back behind you. Exhale, step to lunge. Left foot next to your left thumb. Find your blocks again, a nice loft to your lunge. Scissor your inner thighs together to turn on the midline strength of your body. Reach your chest forward, keep your neck long, and dig your left heel down into the floor. Grow a longer neck by pinning the bottom tips of your shoulder blades together. One more breath in. Exhale, drop your back knee, half splits. Walk your blocks back about 4 inches. Walk your left heel forward a few inches, and then straighten-ish your left leg. Pull your chest forward. Inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, bend your elbows, hinge at your waist. Keep a micro bend in your left knee. Pull your belly button towards your left thigh. And if you feel that there's more room for you to fold, you can walk your blocks down to a lower dimension. Use your breath, send it to the back of your left leg. Take one more round of breath. Remove your blocks. Bend your left knee, flatten your palms, and come to lunge. Lift your right knee with your right toes under. Step to plank, inhale. Lower to the earth, exhale. Cobra pose, inhale. Lay it down, exhale. Inhale, tabletop, press to all fours. Exhale, down dog, lift your hips up and back. 5 rounds of breath, let yourself reset. Inhale, reach your right leg back behind you slowly. Exhale, right knee to nose. Draw your shoulders forward over your wrists. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, step next to your right thumb. We'll set up warrior one stance. Drop your left heel down on the floor behind you. Let your left toes point to about 11 o'clock on a clock. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky, lift your torso vertical to the front mirrors. And then we'll set up the hips a little more complex in this shape. Bring your right fingers to the front of your right hip crease. And bring your left hand, the L of your thumb and first finger, onto the rim of your left hip. First movement, pull your belly up and in to lengthen your low back. Second, gently draw your right hip back towards the lotus wall. And then finally, a gentle, lifelong process of spinning your left hip forwards towards your right inner knee. Keeping all of those pieces in place, deeper bend into your right knee. Sweep your arms overhead, warrior one. Ensure all 5 right toes are pointed directly forward. Lift your belly again. Yes, gorgeous adjustment, Tara. Notice if your neck could be a touch longer. Draw the bottom tips of your shoulder blades down together. Remember to breathe. This is a big shape. Keep your breath in the game to support you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart, lunge. Plant your palms, pop your back heel up on the mat. Step back to plank, breathe in. Lower down, knees are there to catch you as needed. Inhale, cobra pose, tops of your feet on the floor, lift your heart. Exhale, lay down. Now tuck your toes under. Yogi's choice, either press to tabletop or all the way up to plank pose on the balls of your feet. And then back to downward facing dog. Yes, super strong transitions, both Kevin and Liza, awesome. In and out breath through your nose. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. And push down with your fingertips towards the front of your mat. Inhale, stretch your left leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose, shoulders forward over wrists, engage your core. Inhale, send your left leg back. Exhale, step next to your left thumb. Setting up warrior one feet, drop your right heel down, let your right toes point to about 1 o'clock on a clock. Reach your arms up overhead as you breathe in. We'll set it up together again. All 4 left fingers come on the front of your left hip, and the L of your right hand comes onto the rim of your right hip. First, lift your low belly up and in. Second, use your left fingers to pull your left hip crease away from your reflection. And then without wrenching, it's a subtle draw forward of your right hip towards your left inner knee. Keeping all of those pieces, deeper bend your left knee and reach your arms up overhead, warrior one. Spin your baby fingers in towards your nostrils. Spin your thumbs towards the back of the room. Root down as much as you can into your right heel, pushing down into the right baby toe side of your foot. Take one more breath in, lift. Exhale, hands through heart, plant your palms down, lunge. Pop your back heel up. Step to plank pose. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, lower to the earth. Tops of your feet down, inhale, cobra. Exhale, lay down. Find the balls of your feet behind you, charge up in either tabletop or plank as you breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Find stillness right here. Yeah, so you can even take your hands up a little further. Okay. Your heels don't have to be on the ground. Okay. My heels still don't touch. Okay. It takes a long time, lifelong yoga practice. Perfect, you're doing great, Kevin. This looks awesome. We'll add on to those shapes together. Inhale, reach your right leg back. Exhale, step to lunge directly. Drop your left heel down, warrior one stance, and breathe in, warrior one, arms to the sky. Find that subtle action, belly in, right hip back, left hip forward. Exhale, airplane arms, lean your torso forward on the diagonal. Reach your fingertips towards your left heel, palms down, and gaze forward of your right toes about 6 to 8 inches so that the sides and back of your neck are long. Push down into the outside edge of your left foot here. Feel the strength of the foundation of your legs, which allows your heart to lift up away from the top of your right knee. Great shapes. Continue to breathe. One more exhale breath here. Inhale, back to warrior one. Reach your arms up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Straighten your right leg. Pivot over your left shoulder. And we'll find horse pose, toes out, heels in, bend into your knees and stay right there. Draw your shoulders back over your hips. Push your palms together and find the depth of your breath. We'll be here for just about a minute. If you need to come out, you can straighten your legs, shake it a little side to side, and then sit back down. Cultivate the depth of your breath and strength here. When we tone our quadriceps, the tops of our thighs, gives us a little bit more room to open up the hamstrings, backs of the thighs. So this strength that you cultivate right here will lead to more supple backs of your legs later. Notice if your torso is leaning forward, gently pull the back of your head, back of your heart back. 10 seconds left. Breathe in your nose, out your mouth. Again, inhale through your mouth. Inhale, star pose. Beautiful job. Straighten your legs. Give them a little shake. We'll move into warrior two. Turn your right toes to the front of the room. Tee your arms, palms down, and angle in with your left toes so that they're either pointing to the window behind me or angled towards your right heel a touch, and straighten through your left leg as you begin to bend into your right knee. Yeah, so make sure the left toes are pointed forward. Perfect adjustment. Take a peek over your fingertips. Make sure that your right knee is moving directly forward and that your left leg is straight back behind you. Now, energetically reach your fingertips apart from one another and squeeze the bottom tips of your shoulders together at the same time. Take one more breath, sit a little deeper. Inhale, star pose. Straighten your legs, reach your arms up into a V overhead. We'll take it to the other side. Left toes towards the lotus wall. Right toes in. Make sure you have a nice long stance. And then bend into your left knee. Arms in a T shape. Right leg straight, left leg bent. Stack your shoulders over your hips. That might mean reaching a little more with your right fingertips back towards the mirror wall behind you. Push down into a straight right leg. Lift up through the top of your head. One more exhale. Inhale, star pose. Straighten your legs. Take your arms into a V overhead. Make your feet parallel to the short edges of your mat now. Swan dive forward over your legs. Bend your knees as much as you need to touch your hands down under your shoulders. Let your head go completely. Take all the wrinkles out of the back of your neck. If you'd like a little more depth, keeping your knees soft in this forward fold, you can walk the heels of your hands back in line with your toes. Push all 10 fingertips towards the windows and fold your chest between your inner thighs. Cultivate some deep breaths here. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders again. Inhale, take a halfway lift. Exhale, pivot right, lunge facing the front of the room. Flatten your palms, lift your left heel up and step to plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down. Use your knees if needed. Inhale, cobra pose. Lift your heart. Exhale, tap your forehead. Yogi's choice, tabletop or plank pose. Breathe in. And then press back to down dog as you breathe out. Deep, full, mindful breaths. Exhale your air here. Great breath, Tara. Inhale, left leg back behind you. Exhale, lunge, step through. Drop your right heel for warrior one setup and inhale, sweep up, warrior one. Find those key actions again. Belly in, left hip back, right hip forward. Exhale, airplane arms. Glide your torso forward on the diagonal. Stretch all 10 fingertips away from your earlobes and peel the front of your shoulders away from the floor. Lift your belly button away from the top of your left knee. Charge down through the back of your right heel. Inhale, take your arms up, warrior one. Exhale, hands to your heart, straighten your front leg. Pivot over your right shoulder. Horse pose, toes out, heels in. This time we'll take a shorter hold, bend into your knees. And if this is enough sensation on your inner thighs, you're more than welcome to stay upright. If you'd like to take this a little deeper into a fold, slide your hands onto your thighs. Bend your knees a lot and stick your butt back as you let your chest hinge forward. This might be a great place to stop, breathe, or if you'd like to take it one layer deeper, bend your knees even more and bring your forearms onto your thighs. Sit your butt back and reach your chest forward. Avoid cranking your chin up or down. Keep the top of your head reaching away from the bottom of your hips. Bring your hands back onto your thighs. Climb yourself up slowly, hands to your heart. Inhale, star pose. Straighten your legs. We'll move into triangle pose, first facing the back of the room. Tee your arms. Turn your right toes to the lotus ball and your left toes in. Reach, reach, reach to the lotus ball as much as you can. Pin your right hip towards the mirrors and then tick-tock your arms 12 and 6 on a clock. Push your right hand down into your right shin. Bend your right knee and spin your right rib cage up towards your left thumb. Awesome shapes, you guys. Take the very slightest lean back through the back of your head so that you experience the most length in this shape possible. Spread your left fingertips apart a lot. Turn on your left side body muscles. And on your inhale, feel your left fingertips lift you upright to star pose. Arms overhead, pivot your feet. We'll take it to the other side. Tee your arms, left toes towards the mirrors, right toes in. Reach, reach, reach towards the mirrors until you can't reach anymore. Then left hand down on left shin, right arm up towards the sky. Keep a soft bend in your knee and then push your hand onto your shin. Yeah, so you can rebound and reach upwards with your right fingertips. Similar to warrior one here, push into the baby toe side of your right foot. Ground down into the knife edge. As gently as you can, experience more length through the top of your head. Brighten your right fingertips. Trust your right side body and inhale, rise back up to star. Pivot your feet parallel to the short edges of your mat once again and dive forward, wide straddle fold. Bend your knees enough that you can take your peace fingers around your big toe mounds. Push your thumbs onto your big toenails, and with this grip, take a halfway lift. Breathe in. Exhale, pull your elbow tips to the lotus ball and the mirrors as you drop your head down and fold. Notice the tendency for your hips to move back behind your heels. And as much as you can here, take a gentle lean forward, drawing your hips more vertical over your ankles. Feel okay for you, Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
Great. Deep breaths. Release your hands, bring them underneath your shoulders. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, lunge, pivot left to face the front of the room. Pop your right heel up behind you. Step back to plank, deep breath in. Exhale, lower to the earth, knees are there for you. Untuck your toes, inhale, cobra pose, lift your heart. Exhale, tap your forehead. Inhale, tabletop or plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Notice the shift between your first down dog of class and this one near the end of practice. Most likely more length in your hamstrings and calves for you to be able to reach your heels back and down. Exhale all of your air out here. Inhale, stretch your right leg back behind you. Exhale, step to lunge. Find your blocks on the highest dimensions underneath your hands. We're moving towards pyramid pose with the blocks. Step your left foot in about 5 inches and point your toes on the diagonal to 11 o'clock once again. Now it's a slow process. Start with a bent right knee and begin to push into the ball mound of your right big toe. Lift your right hip up and back. Push into the blocks, lengthen through your low back. Then, if there's still space, you can begin to bend your elbow tips back and lower your heart towards your right knee or shin. Hips look fantastic in the room. Push into your left baby toe. Squeeze your inner thighs to stabilize and check in. You should feel this opening in the back of your right hamstring, back of your right calf. Soft bend your right knee and hinge from your hips to fold. Beautiful forward fold, you guys. Push into your blocks. Take an inhale for a little more length. Exhale, bend your right knee. Step your left foot back to lunge. Take your blocks off of your mat. Flatten your palms and step back to plank pose. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down slowly. Inhale, cobra. Lift your heart. Press your toenails down. Exhale, release. Tabletop or plank, yogi's choice as you breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Final approach of our peak forward fold today. Settle in, deepen your breath. Inhale, lift your left leg back behind you. Exhale, step to lunge. Find your blocks on the highest dimensions underneath your hands and step your right foot up about 4 or 5 inches. Right toes point out to 1 o'clock on your clock. Then as you push down with your left big toe, slowly lift your left hip up and back. Keep a micro bend. Pull your heart forward out of your hips. Then hinge at your waist, elbows soft bend as you fold deeply. Keep your neck neutral so that there's no tuck in your chin or a wrenching upwards, but length from the sides of your ears towards the front of the room. Less. Yeah, perfect. Breathe a lot into the back of your left leg. Inhale, push into the blocks, lift your heart forward. Ditch the blocks, find lunge. Step your right foot back, flatten your hands. Step to plank pose, our final transition here to the floor like this, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, tap your forehead to the earth. Inhale, tabletop or plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ground down into your hands and feet. Soften your heart towards your thighs and draw your heels down towards your mat. They don't ever have to touch, they just reach in that direction over time. Inhale, carry your right leg back behind you. Exhale, half pigeon. Draw your right knee forward towards your right wrist and slightly outside. Lay down on the baby toe side of the right foot. Untuck your left toes and lift your heart up. Breathe in. Hinge forward at your waist, sleeping pigeon. You can use your block underneath your forearms if your hips are a little cranky, or if you'd like to roll over onto your back, if your knee is feeling at all painful, we can flip you over. Does that sound good for you? Great, So go ahead and sit down, roll down onto your back, bend your left knee, and stack your right ankle over top your left thigh. Flex your right toes, reach behind your left thigh or the front of your left shin, and clasp your hands. Feel okay for you? Great. We'll move back into our balanced breath that we started class with here. Please open your mouth and push all of your air out to begin. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue to follow that balanced breath in and out through your nose. Soften the muscles of your face. Give your hips to gravity and settle in. One more round, full breath in and out. Awesome breath, Kevin. If you're on your back, hug your knees in and take a little rock side to side. You can stay on your back here. If you're in pigeon, climb up to your hands. Tuck your left toes under behind you on the mat and step back to down dog. Pedal out your legs one at a time, right and left, left and right. If you're on your back, Liza, you can put your right foot down on the floor this time and left ankle over top, figure 4. From down dog, stretch your left leg back, breathe in. Half pigeon, draw your knee forward. Keep your hips level as you can and hinge forward to sleeping pigeon. Relax down onto your palms, your forearms, or if the floor feels further away on this side, you can place a block underneath your hands or forearms. Do let your head rest down somewhere, stacked fists or your block. Hips feel okay on this side? Perfect. If your left knee feels any pain and you're in half pigeon, just call me over. We'll give you another position to work with. If you want a little more support, we can put this block right underneath your left hip. How's that? Great. My left leg is much tighter than my right, so oftentimes much more sensation. Find your balanced breath. Inhale for a 4 count. Exhale for a 4 count. And let your mind rest on the sound of your breath. If you're on your back, hug your knees in, rock and roll forward and back and come through to down dog. If you're in pigeon, walk up to 2 straight arms, tuck your right toes under, move back to down dog, and everyone give a little pedal through your knees. Strike your opposite heel down towards the mat behind you. And let go of any tight, tense, or stuck energy that might have arrived with that knee flexion hold. Breathe. Full inhale. Exhale, come to tabletop. Sit on your heels and swing your heels off to the right to find yourself set up for a forward fold. Stretch your heels forward, Bend your knees a lot so that you can sit up nice and high on your sits bones. Reach your arms up from your waist. Hinge forward. Fingertips fall where they may, toes, shins, or thighs. And for today's practice, we'll keep a flat back variation. So pull back on your toes or legs. Draw your sternum towards your toes. And keep the top of your head reaching out of the base of your hips so that you have a nice sense of length from your tail through the top of your head. If you feel like you have more opening from all of the other forward folds in class, you can slowly stretch your heels so that your legs are straight-ish, and then lift up your chest again and hinge forward at your waist. Great work, you guys. Exhale breaths will allow you to hinge just a touch deeper. Release your toes, sit upright. Bring your hands alongside your hips, palms down. Bend your knees and use your hands to draw your butt forward towards your heels. Take one of your blocks near the middle of your mat if you'd like to take a supported bridge to finish up. Flip your palms up and just like we did earlier, roll down onto your back. When you arrive, place the tops of your hands down next to your hips. Walk your heels in towards your butt until you graze your middle fingers with your heels. Keep your knees and feet hip distance apart. Bridge pose. Inhale, lift your hips up. Send your knees slightly forward. Push down into the big toe mounds of your feet. Keep your gaze straight up towards the sky, and if you like your block, take it in one of your hands and slide it underneath your low back, right under your sacrum, the bony triangle plate in your low back. Let your heart chase your chin. Let your chin run away from your chest. And finally, reinvigorate the external rotation of your arms by flipping your thumbs away from you, palms to the sky. And notice now if you can find even more space across your chest. One more breath in, go ahead and remove the block, and exhale, slowly lower your butt down to the floor. Constructive rest, toe heel your feet to the wide edges of your mat and let your knees fall together in the center. You can place your hands, one on your heart, one on your belly, or keep them by your sides if that feels better. Recline bound angle pose. Toe heel your feet to the midline of your mat. Touch the soles of your feet together and peel your knees open like a book. If you'd like your blocks underneath your outer thighs, just give me a wave. It's a great way. Good? Yeah? Okay, perfect. It's a great way to let yourself relax and really open up here. But if it's just increased sensation, breathe into the front line of your hips, your inner thighs, and let yourself soften in with the help of gravity. Let your eyes be soft and deepen your breath. Use your hands on your outer thighs to close your knees up like a book and draw your knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side, massage your low back. And then interlace all 10 fingers on the front of your right shin. Send your left leg long down on the floor in front of you. Dig your left heel in, flex your left toes up, and bend your right knee as deeply as you can. Pull into your chest and let the back of your head relax down. Take deep belly breaths to massage the top of your right thigh. One more breath in here. Exhale, supine twist. Carry your right knee to the left side of your mat. Bump your left hip over to the right just a touch so that your low back is level. And then open your right arm wide of your right shoulder. More important for the back of your right shoulder to be on the earth than your inner right knee to ever touch down. So you might need to unwind and touch. Yeah, does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, and we can even put a block right underneath. Yeah, right. This guy. All right, good.
Like that.
Deep breaths there. Yeah. Okay. You got it. Slowly, mindfully, draw your right knee back to center. Level your low back and draw your left knee in to meet your right knee. Take a little rock side to side again. Now clasp all 10 fingers on the front of your left shin. Send your right heel down on the floor in front of you. Flex your right toes up. Avoid your left side rib cage and then hug your left knee in towards your left armpit. Take some deep breaths into your belly to massage the top of your left thigh. Take one more breath in here. Exhale, supine twist. Drape your left knee to the right side of your mat. Stack your right hip underneath your left. And then drop the back of your left shoulder down. And let your left knee soften. There's no need to get your left knee down to the floor, but it is important to let your left shoulder be on the floor. Take a deep breath into your left side ribs. Exhale, soften it. Unwind to draw your left knee back to center. Level your hips and draw your right knee in to meet your left. Give both knees a squeeze. Happy baby pose. Separate your thighs wide of your torso and kick the soles of your feet up towards the ceiling. Grab inner or outer foot, or if you can't quite reach, you can take a grip on your ankles or reach around the outsides of your legs and grip the backs of your thighs. Do let your low back soften down towards the earth. So you might want to take your ankles here instead.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just so we can get low back down. Does that feel okay?
Yes.
Great. Big breath in. Open mouth. Hug your knees into your chest, hands on your knees. Curl up into a tiny ball, forehead to meet your knees. Take a huge breath in. Exhale, Shavasana. Lay yourself out. Flip your palms up. Close your eyes down and just relax. Let your breath return to natural. Before you move, deepen your breath. Feel the rise of your belly as you breathe in, and the gentle fall of your belly button as you breathe out. Begin to bring gentle movements into your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms overhead. Draw your knees in towards your chest. And softly roll off to your right side in a comfortable fetal position. Keep your right arm long and place your right ear on your right bicep. With as few muscles as possible, press up to a comfortable seat. If you like, you can cross your legs and sit on your block. And bring your palms together in front of your heart. Lift your thumbs to the space between your eyebrows and bow forward. Namaste. Return to your upright seat. Thank you all so much for joining me for podBASICS Forward Folds. Hope to see you all in another basics class soon. Again, my name is Rachel. Have an amazing day. Thank you.